All right, fellas, welcome back. We have another week in college football. Per usual, today I have all primetime bets. So I'm kind of excited about that. 7:30 or later. What you know? What you going to stay up for? You going to stay up for all of them? You better stay up for all of them. We have week 7 underway. Honestly, it's not wasting any time. You guys know the deal. If you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of fun shit down below. We post videos 4 times a week. 3 times a week, 4 times a week. College, football, Thursday, Monday, Sunday. You already know the deal. You know what it is. We're here to make some money. We've been making money all month. Speaking of making money, oh, now you get to see the leaked plays for later. You see the plays. But we've been making money all month. So for this we're up 16.4 units, as you can see at the top of your screen. Cooking with some gas. I'm recording this on Thursday, midday. You guys will see this Friday by the time I turn around and edit this. And get all this, the TikToks, the Twitters, all that out for you guys. Make sure you're following on all the accounts. Make sure you're using code BDGE when you sign up on Pickett, because you'll not only follow Nick, you'll follow me, you'll follow all the boys, and we'll cash out. We'll make some money this month. Hoping to make a lot of money this month. So far, we're on the track. Let's keep it fucking rolling. We're going to do so starting on Underdog Fantasy. If you're not on Underdog Fantasy, use code BDG. You'll get up to $1,000. Plus, you'll get a few free lines to play with for college, as well as NFL plays as well. Free 0.5 passing yard lines. I'll flash them on the screen for you, so you have to see them. Starting on prime time. You already saw the bets. You already locked them in. You're already clicking off the video. You don't need the reasons why. You just need to see the bets. I understand. Please don't. But, like, at least listen, you know? Jackson Dart, 289.5 passing yards. You can get him at 284 on books. It's fine. And you'll see the difference of why 284 matters a little bit more for me. Psych, yeah, we're gonna start with that bet instead of the Ohio State-Oregon bet. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go Jackson Dart. He's 284 on FanDuel. 284 on FanDuel. So you can get it there. But if you wanna get the parlays, you wanna get the boosties, you can get it on Underdog, pair with the free line. If you get it at 284, you get the boost of he's hit at 5 of his last 6 games, averaging 350 yards per game. Now, again, 2 games in the SEC so far. It's been a little bit more sketchy, but now he goes to an LSU team that has been very susceptible to big passing days. Game 1, LSU gave up almost 400 passing yards to Miller Moss and the USC Trojans. Now, I don't think that's going to happen this game, but they also gave up 34 points to a South Carolina team that had, and I mean, like, literally no quarterback. They had to run the ball almost every fucking play. Their defense is just middle of the pack at best right now. And I think this Ole Miss offense is going to be able to take control and dominate this game. I seriously think, like, I'm being genuine here. If the defense can step up, I think Ole Miss can win this by 2 scores. But I don't think they're going to let up on the gas. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think both sides, I think the over is going to be a big cash in this game. So far, Jackson Dart's averaging 12.2 yards per attempt, slinging the ball down the field as of right now. Now, in SEC games, that number drops, but it's still at 11 yards per attempt, which is still over a first down every single time he's throwing the ball. He's had some massive plays down the stretch as well. Kentucky's defense has proven to be one of the best in the country, shutting down Georgia, shutting down Ole Miss. As we've seen, that game, him having 261 yards, that makes me feel better about it with how good their defense has turned out to be. Now, again, going back, this game could end up, he could be throwing in the mid-30s in attempts right now. Right now, he's averaging, I think, 28.8 pass attempts per game. Not had a game under 27 pass attempts per game. I think in this SEC matchup against LSU, ranked matchup, this is a must-win game. That could sneak up into the mid-30s range. Mid-30s range. I think that's where we're going to end up. And if he's throwing in the mid-30s, I think he easily gets 300 passing yards on this LSU defense. Very susceptible to big plays. They've given up some massive plays through the air against USC. They were giving up chunk play after chunk play as they drop back into a too-high cover 4 shell very often. Now, that eliminates the massive post routes, all that sort of stuff, but it gives you 15-yard bench routes, dig routes in the middle of the field where you can allow players like Trey Harris to make big plays. And that's going to be scary for this LSU team. So I'm leaning Jackson Dart over here. No, we're coming back to it. We miss it when he played Kentucky, I understand. But we're going back to the well again this week. I absolutely love this line on the Underdog Fantasy. But keep it pushing. We're going to take another over here. And it's going to be Dylan Gabriel. Now you're looking at this like, God, Ohio State's defense is legit as fuck. I understand. We faded Ohio State's defense last weekend. We're going to do it again here today. Last time we faded them for the rushing, but clearly they've established one of the best rushing defenses in the entirety of college football. It is insane. They shut down Iowa, who honestly, I mean, we still had our over on Caleb Johns. I didn't even think that was possible to really shut down this Iowa rushing offense with how good they are, how big they are in the trenches. But they showed it, and they have, and they've shut down everyone in the trenches so far, which is why I think it's going to need to be a big passing game for this Oregon offense. Dylan Gabriel, as of right now, 2 games over 40 40 attempts, as you can see on the screen. Only 2 games under 30 attempts. Both those games, blowouts. Didn't really need it. Actually, the Boise State wasn't a blowout. I retract. They had a fucking massive game on the ground. They didn't really need to sling the rock. And that happens against these smaller schools, where this isn't a smaller school. Ohio State is one of the best run defenses in all the country. I understand Jordan James has had three back-to-back games of over 100 yards. I don't think that happens today against Ohio State. Running a ton of easy pass completions. His completion percentage this year is fucking insane. And I think it's going to continue. Dylan Gabriel had his worst game last week. We got this line at 55.5. You can get it at 55.5 on FanDuel. So that's why I was like, that's a little off. He still hit this line over last week against Michigan State team, where he probably had his worst game. 2 interceptions. Didn't look fucking fantastic. Only completed 63% of his throws. He's normally in the high 70s of his throws. If he's in the mid, if he's at 70 plus this game, easily smashes over this line. As you all know, Oregon has the playmakers in Tez Johnson, Evans to make these big plays happen. He doesn't need to do that much with the ball in his hands outside of get the ball to his playmakers. I think he easily smashed this, averaging 289.8 pass yards per game. And again, the game script, I think, is going to favor Ohio State. I don't like Ohio State. I don't like Oregon either that much, except that their uniforms are gas. But I think Ohio State is favored in this script, and I think they're going to end up winning this game. The pure talent on the offense and defense side of the ball, I think, overpowers that Oregon offensive line that has shifted around the first few games. They've stabled it out a little bit more the past 2 games, but those first 3 games, their O-line had a different starting 5 every single game. They were trying to shift guys, figure out what works. Now, again, the past 2 games, they figured it out. They've dominated. But does that happen against a Ohio State team that, again, fantastic in the trenches? And now, again, multiple games over 32 pass attempts. If he sees over that with the completion percentage, I'm not shedding this at all. Now, again, Ohio State really also hasn't played an elite team yet. Iowa would be their best team they played, and they can't pass the ball for fucking dick on anybody. So it's going to be their first big challenge through the air. And I think Dylan Gabriel is going to get it done here. 255 just feels a little bit low for me, even against an Ohio State team that is roaring right now. Now, on to our last leg. We're firing through this. But again, make sure if you're not on Underdog, using code BDG. Also, if you want to know what I'm looking at here, I get this question all the time. I make sure I have said in every video. This is props.cash. Props.cash is going to be a tool where you can get all these sort of numbies and like graphs and cool shit that you can look at, see all the odds on the books, all that sort of stuff. Use code GUT25 when you sign up. And you'll get 25% off your first month. It is a paid process, so if you don't bet a ton, not worth it. But if you bet a lot, definitely worth it to look into, so you can see the numbies for yourself, adjust the numbers as you need, go filters, home, away, on different things like NFL. There's a million fucking filters, primetime games, games where he had this many completions, all that sort of shit you can filter out. So it's a really cool tool to use. Now, heading on to Underdog, our last game, Travis Hunter, 95.5 receiving yards, feels fantastic. 95.5 receiving yards feels fantastic for the boy. Travis Hunter, again, killing it as of right now, in his second year in this offense, really dominating. Get him at 95.5. On FanDuel, you get him at 95.5 as well. That's where I got it there for a straight bet. Again, if you're pairing all these, making a parlay, Underdog is the way to go, because you'll get the free line if you're new. Anyway, over 100 yards so far in every game outside of UCF. But he had the targets against UCF, and he has the receptions. He's yet to have a single game under 7 receptions. And this Kansas State team is fucking horrible. And I'm not saying that lightly. Let's look through this. They're 115th in the country against the pass. 280 pass yards per game. 115th in the country. That's fucking nuts. Week 5, they allowed Deshaun, it's spelled with a Z, but I'm going to say Deshaun Stribling. I might be pronouncing this so bad, from Oklahoma State. But 7 receptions, 157 receiving yards. Obviously, you've Tet from Arizona, 11 receptions, 138 receiving yards. He's one of the best receivers in the country, though, so take that as you wish. But against Tulane, Mario Williams, 6 receptions, 128 receiving yards. In that same game, Dante Fleming had 4 receptions for 97 yards. Week 4 was a blowout versus BYU, and week 1 was a cupcake matchup, so I'm not really factoring those in for the Kansas State team. But they've gotten killed whenever they played a real team. Now you go against Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, who once Shedeur Sanders slings the fucking rock almost more than any quarterback in college football right now. And Travis Hunter sees the volume from that. No real corner on that Kansas State team that's going to be any sort of worry. And again, he's seeing a minimum of 9 targets a game, a minimum of 7 receptions a game. He's killing right now, averaging 112 receiving yards per game, going into one of the worst passing defenses in all of college football. Prime time game, ranked game. It's going to be interesting. So I'm excited to see how that all ends up. Is Kansas State ranked? Let me look that up. I don't think so. They've lost 2 games. No, they are. They're ranked 18th. Have they lost 2? They've only lost 1. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, Kansas State's a ranked team. Ranked matchup. Going against 18th in the country. Colorado could have a massive passing game. Now, again, this game's late as shit, so if you don't want to stay for the end of it, I don't blame you. We are placing that bet, locking it in. Probably going to place a leg with all 3 of these in it on Underdog as well when I get into the office. So, yeah, these are the 3 plays I have. These are what we're going to rock out with. I like the logic. I like the understanding that the scripts are going to go the way I think they are. Now, again, with these plays in college football is the most volatile, most random thing to bet on you could possibly bet on, outside of maybe the MLB could be a little bit more just like out there, depending on if there's like a massive home run hit or whatever. But like college football, like any game could be a disaster. Any game could be a blow up game. But we're banking on these scripts, as I've done a lot of research on all of these teams to see their matchups and try to figure it out the best I can. So far, we swept last weekend. Now, again, let's go back to that. We swept last weekend in college football. We can see it on here. Go back to last Saturday. Quick 3-0. What you know about it? Let's do it again this weekend. Again, if you're not on pick, use code BDG so you can tail me. As soon as I place the bets, boom, you can place them as well to get them at the best lines that you can. Again, K Klubnik last week, if you waited right before game time, his line went up to 236. You would have missed it by 1. So, not saying anything, but I'm saying something. Make sure you're on Pickett, dialed in, ready to go. I'm done yapping. Shorter video for today, but make sure you sign up on Pickett. We are rolling right now. Love you guys. Big smoochies all around. Again, make sure to like, subscribe, all this sort of fun shit down below. It is free to do. It supports the channel. We just hit 4K subscribers. I'm fucking like lit about that. That's awesome. I appreciate every single one of you that is sub, every single one of you that watches the video, especially these college ones because they don't get a lot of views, but I do enjoy making them because I love college football. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I do. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm recording this on Friday, so yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Saturday for my Sunday picks. You should be seeing that earlier. I know a lot of people were upset last week. I got them out late. I'm trying to get them done earlier. I have all my picks, research done and everything, so I can get that video recorded for you guys and out Saturday around 12 p.m. So you can expect it around that time frame, anywhere from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. It should be out, and I'll see you guys on the stream on Sunday with all the boys. So I'll catch you guys then. Peace.